If you are a new grad, junior, or mid-level engineer, the most important thing you can do right now is get to senior engineer as fast as possible. The tech landscape is changing rapidly. AI is changing how software gets built, and the roles that will remain the most valuable are engineers who can think at a high level and take ownership of systems. Senior engineers are simply safer positions, although not the safest, in this environment. I'm currently a mid-level engineer, and even I can feel the pressure of how quickly things are changing. I'm actively working towards becoming a senior engineer because the expectations for engineers are clearly increasing. So I have mentored a few juniors over my time, and from what I can see, some of them are quite lazy. I try to push them out of their comfort zone slowly. Nothing too crazy, just slightly out of the comfort zone each time they take on a new task. But some of them just want to stay in their comfort zone, and I think that's the biggest mistake you can make right now. With AI and how it has progressed, junior positions are few and far between, so getting good and getting good fast is necessary if you want to survive. Luckily, a few of the juniors I mentored are motivated and are happy to learn and grow from my guidance. So you might be wondering why senior level roles are safer than the roles below them. I believe that because of AI, a competent senior engineer can leverage AI agents to produce more than a junior engineer. If the senior engineer has experience delivering software through the whole software development lifecycle, they can use AI agents more effectively than someone who doesn't have that experience. So the question is, how do you get to senior engineer level? There are a lot of things that matter, but today I want to focus on 4 key areas that I believe make the biggest difference. Number 1, see things end to end. As an engineer, you need to learn to think beyond just your code. You should understand the entire flow of the system, from the customer experience, to the UI, to the application layer, to the database, and even things like security and infrastructure. Other aspects such as security, performance, and maintainability are also needed. Whenever you think of a solution, see how well it fits into the system. Sometimes you need to ask customers or your product managers for questions to clarify what is important. You can even ask AI to give you a rough idea of what needs to be done to achieve this result end to end. Seeing how data flows throughout the whole system is paramount in understanding what your system can achieve, performance bottlenecks, security issues, and scalability issues. I believe roles that focus on one specific part of the process are in danger. Hyper-specialized roles that LLMs do not have training data on are probably still safe, but who knows? I believe with the current trajectory, companies will care more about the product engineers produce instead of the specific area you are hired for. Number 2, take on harder things. You should be actively trying to take on tickets or work on projects that are harder than before, or something you have never done before. Constantly repeating the same tickets at your level will not result in growth, but stagnation. If you're not growing, you're just dying. When you're starting your career out, you'll be given the shit tickets no one wants to do, and maybe you don't want to do them, and that is fine. But do those tickets properly and do them well so your company can trust you to take on harder and more complex tickets. You need to build trust first before they can trust you. Number 3, focus on system design, system architecture, and system theory. This is also a super important point. Code, in my opinion, is always a means to an end. It is still important and always will be, but at a certain point, once you get to senior, you are more focused on where your solution will fit in, why you're coding this solution, and how you will code this solution. What other services you will need to put together to achieve your goal for a working system or service. Last but not least, number 4, communication. One of the most important things about becoming senior is to communicate effectively with stakeholders. Pretty much with everything in life, you will need to see the current trajectory of the project and whether or not you will achieve it in due time. If the current trajectory is off, you need to take responsibility to raise this with stakeholders ASAP and let them know why this is off track. Also, sometimes it is impossible to anticipate all the blockers that might occur, and if something you did not anticipate occurs, you need to update them ASAP. Okay, so these are 4 of the main points I believe can take you to the senior level. This is not the only list, and there's so many other points to consider, but I believe this can be a good starting point for someone that is not at the senior level. I want to point out that being senior is quite arbitrary and depends heavily on the company. Some people believe years of experience determines your seniority. But if you've ever worked with people who have a couple years of experience but still perform like juniors, you will know that years of experience is probably not the best metric. I believe it is what you can do and deliver that determines your seniority, not just factors like years of experience. A good guideline I like to use as a reference is the Dropbox Engineering Career Framework at the IC4 level. It seems to have a good grasp of what a senior engineer should be able to do, and if you follow those guidelines on top of what I mentioned, you should be in a pretty good spot. Obviously, factors outside your control such as budget, whether a position is available, and other political factors will also determine whether you get the title, promotion, and hopefully a pay rise. but being able to execute at that level is the first step. Thank you for listening. Peace.